One of the things my husband hates most is speaking to a video camera. And over the years, he's been asked to share his story a lot in front of crowds, and he does it freely and without fail. I see people lined up to come and talk to him because he really connects, because he's truthful. You see, we started this business because after 16 years of service in the Queensland Police, Randall received a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder. It was an unexpected diagnosis, to say the least. We had a young family, and I came home one day to find that Randall was home unexpectedly. And when you work shift work, you kind of get a routine, and it was clear that he wasn't well. We went through the process of medical retirement because the police are funny about leaving you in the service with PTSD and access to a weapon. Who knew? And we had to figure out what his story was going to be next. You see, it's all he'd ever wanted to do. It's all I thought he would ever do. And that was difficult. Any career transition is really difficult. I came home one day to find him with the newspaper open. You know, in the days the job ads were actually in the paper. And he had our then toddler Declan, who's now like this boy giant. He's one of his pens, and he was circling ads. And I leant over and I realised that he was circling armour guard style ads. And I was horrified because I didn't want my husband with PTSD going out and doing that sort of job ever, because I just didn't think it was going to be great for his well-being. So I asked him what was he doing. He told me at that point that all he was worth was a gun on his hip and a badge on his chest. So we reached an agreement that day. We reached an agreement that Randall could do anything he wanted. I didn't care what he did. I didn't care if he packed shelves at Woolies, if he was happy, and it was because he didn't settle, because he didn't think that was all he was worth. He went and saw a career counsellor, which, you know, the last time he'd done was in high school, same as me, and they kind of pull out the big book. Do you remember the big book that they have? And they tell you what you should be when you grow up, and this career counsellor did none of that. Because he was growing up. But he did tell him about this process called recognition of prior learning, and he did think that it could be useful to help Randall translate all those policing skills, like all those hard things he'd done over those 16 years into something that the rest of the world might understand a bit better. It was in the process of Randall getting his qualifications with one of those 300-page kits and, you know, pulling together all the evidence, which he knew how to do because he was an investigator and a detective, a bloody good one at that. That he knew how to pull together evidence, but no one else really did. And when he took his evidence down to this training organisation to get his qualifications, they not only gave him 3 qualifications, but they gave him an idea. They said, why don't you offer this as a service for other people who are just like you, who are stuck at a point in their career and have all this experience and need to translate it into something that they can carry forward. No one else is doing this. This was back in 2005. No one else was offering this in Australia. And so Randall rang me and said, hey, guess what? I've got 3 qualifications, not 1, 3 diplomas. And this guy, Chris, he reckons that there's this idea and that we should do this to help other people. What do you reckon? Well, we did. We were ill-equipped for business. We opened our business on the 1st of January 2006, which was a national public holiday. But Randall had always worked every public holiday. It didn't occur to us to do it any different. Since that time, we have helped tens and tens of thousands of Australians help get qualifications, and it's all been done with this drive that reminds us of the story that our family has had happen, which is that everybody is worth something. Everybody's worth something. Randall has rebuilt his life. He's battled PTSD, he's had not 1 but 2 relapses, and he's spent the last 4 years rebuilding so that he's incredibly healthy. He's an amazing example to other people. He goes in and shares his story at mental health facilities, recovery centres, and he does that because it's important that all of us remember we're never alone. And you're not alone with getting qualified. So for us, recognition of prior learning is a really personal story. The business Churchill is a personal story, and we're here to help you. We might not always be the right fit for you to get your qualifications, but we're always here for a chat. We're always here to give you some direction, and we're always here to cheer. The same way we needed that, and we got that right back at that 2005. So 14 years down the track and more, we'll still keep doing it. So that's Churchill's story. Feel free to reach out. You'll see emails come from Randall and I. They really are from us. And if we can help you along the way, we're here to do it.